Evening, gas heads. Hope you're well, and welcome back to another episode 7 of the Talking Gas podcast. Before we do get into it, I want to say again, like I said on my match reaction, do check that out if you haven't already from yesterday. But yeah, thanks for 6,500 subscribers. The support has been absolute quality. Obviously, when I had One Rovers vlogs, doing the streams there, and yeah, obviously since we started the Talking Gas podcast back in September now, I think it's already gone really quick. So yeah, thanks for 6,500. Do subscribe if you are new, on the road to 7,000, which is still mad to say, but yeah, wouldn't be anywhere without everyone's support. Do follow our socials as well if you haven't. I always post on the Instagram Talking Gas Podcast, and on Twitter Talking Gas Pod. Make sure to give the stream a like. If you're watching back on the replay, obviously leave your predictions in the comments. If you're watching live, then do hit the like, subscribe, get all your questions in, even into Ben and Rob Stavek that's already in the channel. And yeah, thanks. We've also got, before we get into it, I've also got super chat super chat from John Pollock saying, I seen you and Gab Sutton kicking right off. Yeah, that was, I didn't even mean for it to kick off. It was all over. It went pretty mad, the tweet I put out when they was talking about Dean Holden and being Rovers manager. And I was like, you're having a laugh. I edited this red nose onto Dean Holden, and it all went crazy. There was like 47,000 views or whatever it's called, on Twitter when you put something out, and it all went mad. I didn't even mean to. And he unfollowed me, and, fair enough. I didn't, nothing against the bloke as in a general person. He's probably a nice bloke, but just as a manager, what I've seen is interviews and stuff, I was like, no way. And I'll just give my thoughts. And yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, appreciate you donating $4.99 just to say that. But yeah, we're joined by Neil. How you doing, Neil? Obviously, we had the day off the other day, but yeah, back on the Sunday. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You good?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, all good. All good, thanks. Yeah, good to be back. Obviously, talking about a few back-to-back wins as well, even into Charlie Bell Richards as well, and even into Jamie Stockley. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, we said in the post, we're going to be talking about the FA Cup win yesterday. Also talking about the Northampton win, because obviously we didn't do a live stream on Thursday. And then obviously we're going to be going over the Reading game, obviously previewing that, doing our lineups predictions later on in the show. Yeah, good to be back, and even into Yambi Sims as well. And also, obviously, we're still going to be talking about the manager talk, the merry-go-round that's been all week, few different names each week. But we're going to quickly get into the Northampton game, go over that. Obviously, we made it 2 games unbeaten in the league. Obviously, Mangan's first game that he's taken over since the sacking of Joey, obviously getting the 2-1 win. Quite a few, I think, actually, no, there was only a few changes. Vale obviously came in. George Friend came back in after being out injured. Obviously, Thomas, the mad news that we've seen, he was back early because obviously the hamstring injury. Yeah, what did you make of that game, first half, second half, and the thoughts on how we played? Because obviously we went back to the formation that we were playing in pre-season as well.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Josh Grant start, to be honest. I thought he looked really leggy, and I thought he looked like he could have done with coming out for a little bit after Stevenage. I just thought like it looked like a bit of a tired performance sort of thing. They reverted to sort of a back three against us. To be fair, they should have gone 1-0 up. And Kramer's had an absolute shocker at the near post trying to clear his lines, and they should have gone 1-0 up really.
Yeah.
Then we started to build a bit of pressure like we normally do early on in games. Got the Martin goal. To be honest, a nice tidy finish. Good for him to get another one, sort of thing. But
yeah,
it wasn't as great as it seemed. I don't think first half. They had the Hoskins one that got cleared off the line. I think Manny Montfort's cleared it. It's come off his shoulder or something. It looked like it was sailing into the top corner. So that could have been another one. First half. But as far as shape, I thought we did look better. Like Collins looks miles better, playing far more narrow and closer to Martin. It gives us sort of more width without him hugging that touchline, because it allows others to go on the outside of him. I thought Finley was excellent for the stick he'd got, sort of thing, from fans before that. I thought he was excellent first half, especially. Evo, I thought, sort of tried too hard first. He tried to do everything first half: tackle, run, edit, create, and he just got
Yeah.
he got a little bit ahead of himself. But I thought he sort of mellowed into the game a little bit. But to start with, I just thought he was all over the place. He was giving the ball away cheap. He was just trying too hard, I think, more than anything. Second half, I think they went to I think Northampton, they went to 3 up top. They went to like 4-3-3, I think, really. And we got a little bit ragged, I thought, second half. We conceded the daft goal, from a set piece, is what we do.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to get on his back too much, but I keep coming back to Kramer. Do you know what I mean? He is what he is. He's an academy centre half who ain't used to defending big, burly, horrible set pieces and the physical side of things. And I think he got caught sort of under the flight of the ball. Montford's nodded at home. And then it's about game management again. I thought we could have been better. Again, I talk about leaders, and I just think we could have done that so much better. We got through it. It was a little bit shaky, but we come out of it, got a win. But I just thought we could have managed that a little bit better coming out at the end of that game.
Yeah. I agree. We've got a few questions in the chat about managers. We'll get onto that in the next sort of 10 minutes. We'll go over that after we've gone over the Whitby game as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll be giving our thoughts because obviously we done the stream last week. Obviously when Barton got sacked, since then there's been loads of managers in the mix and different thoughts from everyone else. Obviously I've done a few polls as well. And, I've seen Dan Hargreaves done one earlier from Mangan as well. So we'll get onto that very soon. I sort of agree, really. Took us, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get going, really. Like you said, they could have been 1 or 2-0 down if it weren't for, two good saves from Cox. Obviously, like you said, though, that Simpson one, when Kramer done that mistake, I was like, Jesus, especially looking it back on the highlights. I didn't realise it was as bad a mistake as it was. And somehow Cox got it off the line. But then after that, when we went forward, we did look really good going forward. I do like that formation, sort of 4-4-2, 4-2-4, 4-4-1-1 sort of mixed in. Collins was coming back at times. Martin was up there on his own. And yeah, obviously Martin, quality, he only seems to score quality goals for us at the moment. Obviously 2-2 for him in the league. Then we make it 2-0. Weird keeping from Burge. They sort of both hesitated, didn't they? Burge and Collins, really. But Burge ended up just taking him out. Evans coolly slotted home. And then, like you said, second half, sort of sitting back a little bit, let them come into the game. Like you said, it was always going to be a set piece, really. Hoskins was fairly quiet for most of the game. But yeah, Montfay sort of got up, got the goal. But yeah, in the end, a really good 3 points. And, I think it put us from 17th to 13th. Obviously, we're 7 points off the playoffs with a few games in hand, with obviously some very important games coming up. But yeah, good win. Mangan's first game in charge after obviously the Barton sacking. And yeah, question here actually we'll go on to now. What's your thoughts on redeveloping the mem? Obviously, the interview, really good interview actually. I didn't watch it on the day it went out. I watched it a little bit after, but yeah, what did you make of that? Obviously, a no-go to the fruit market, and yeah, us redeveloping the mem. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't really have too much. I don't have strong views on it either way, to be honest. Like, if the fruit market deal's a no-go for whatever reason, if it doesn't suit the club, like financially and for stability and all the rest of it, then there's no point. Crying about it. It is what it is, and it's done. If redeveloping the mem is the only option, then let's just like be, open and honest about it. Get it done. I've not seen any plans to see what it's due to look like, what the finished article's meant to look like. To be honest, I've heard about stand at a time, what they're looking to do. It could end up looking pretty similar to sort of like the way Plymouth have done theirs potentially. I don't mind it either way, but it's hard to have an opinion on it when I've not seen plans. I don't know what the expectation is to what it's meant to look like come the end.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, for me, I think it's amazing news. Really, I didn't really want to go to sort of that side of town, and even just where it's sort of based, I don't think it would have been right anyway. I think it's definitely better. Us redeveloping the mem. Obviously, the stands looking good. Obviously, planning permission is finally, done for that. Hopefully we should see that, done very soon. And then, I think it's only a good thing, really, to be honest. I don't know what everyone's thoughts is in the comments. Leave us your thoughts and opinions on that. Ben saying, got a feeling Reading will get abandoned. I've heard that. I don't think it will, though. Obviously, they've been doing, we'll get into it more, but they've been doing loads of obviously, it's absolute awful for the fans at Reading. But hopefully it won't get abandoned. Fingers crossed. But obviously, and then obviously getting onto the Whitby game, Rovers winning 7-2. Great to score 7 goals again, of course. But made 6 changes. Still a very strong side. Good to see Wilson back on the bench. I think we've really missed him. You've talked about Crammer. I like Crammer, but I think a more experienced, sort of calmer presence. Because I do like Crammer, but like you said, he's just a bit crazy. Like he'll do amazing thing, and then like at Charlton away, I think he'd done some amazing challenge. And then I think he lost the ball, and when May went through and hit the crossbar, but Wilson was back on the bench. Thomas was back starting, which was good to see. Obviously, a few of the players that haven't been starting as much were given a chance. What did you make of the lineup? First of all, and obviously it was quality. Kofi Shaw and Dewsbury on the bench as well, two youth academy players.
I mean, I won't lie, I didn't pay too much attention to any of it, to be honest, due to the fact that it was pretty much a lose-lose for Rovers. There's nothing other than, a headline could come out of it. What happened on Saturday should have happened, was expected to happen, and did happen. It was one of them where it was all for Rovers to lose, Saturday. So I didn't pay too much attention to it. Like, we should have run over them. We did run over them. We're player for player better than no matter who we put out there.
The
job should have got done. The real blessing from it all is we're in the got through. We've got no injuries, no more suspensions. It looks like we've got a clean bill of health coming out of it, and the job got done. Other than that, I can't really put too much. I can't really, dig too deep into praise of the game, because if your attitude's bang on and you're professional, what you do, that game should be won by 4 or 5 goals easy, and it was.
Yeah.
So congratulations for doing your job, but that's about as far as it goes for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough. And obviously, what's your thoughts on the draw? Obviously, the Derby or Crewe away. Obviously, if it is Derby, because it did finish 2-2. Crewe were 2-0 up, but for all of Derby's possession, I think they deserved at least the draw. Really, I watched the game earlier on. But obviously, it happened to them Derby last year. I think it was Torquay away where they were losing, got the draw, replay, smashed Torquay at home. Would you expect? I mean, you probably do expect Derby to go through playing at home in the replay, but Crewe are a good side. What do you make of that game? Because it would, if Derby do go through, that means back-to-back away games and back-to-back Derby as well. Because I'm pretty sure it would be a week after the league game. So what do you make of that, Derby or Crewe?
From what I saw earlier, Derby got himself well out of jail by just kicking into gear once they got there first and decided to go for broke to get an equaliser. But if Warren's in charge of that side, come the replay, I wouldn't be putting any money on Derby to win that game. I mean, nothing fears me about Derby under Paul Warren at the minute. There's nothing for me to say that if Rovers had to go to Derby, we'd be deemed underdogs. Derby don't look good at the minute, and I wouldn't be putting any money on Derby to beat Crewe. Crewe look like they're defensively, like how structured they are. They defend their box really well from what I saw. Nicked a goal and defended really well, but I don't look at Derby and think, they're a great side. We're definitely going to go out if we go to Derby in the second round, especially under Warren. It could all change. I mean, if he gets the bullet and someone else comes in and gets that side going, because you look at that side on paper, that should be pulling up trees in this league, but they're playing a certain way that it doesn't seem like the fan base are overly pleased with. It's not desperately attractive on the eye. It's not getting results. Nothing fears me about Derby one bit.
Yeah, like you said, it's just I seen that, especially after was it the Shrewsbury game a few weeks ago, and yeah, his football's awful. Like it's all right doing it at Rotherham, but like you said, when you're doing the same defensive, awful football at a team like Derby, when you're getting 28,000 or whatever, and
being crap on the eye is fine if you're getting results. Being crap on the
Yeah.
eye is absolutely fine as long as you're getting results. But the minute you're not at a club like Derby, you're banging trouble.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, my thoughts, obviously, I've done reaction yesterday but yeah, looking back, it was just good to get the win. Obviously, when they equalised, I was thinking, oh, flipping out, here we go. Here we go again. But yeah, really like professional job. 6 different goal scorers. Some good goals. Good. I know it's obviously, like you said, it's only Whitby, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And you look, like I said on my reaction yesterday, you look at our record, it has been awful. But I really liked the way Thomas played. Got his goal and assist. Some good performances out there. Oh wow, Gas Supporter just said Cray Valley, Paper Mills, and Charlton is a replay as well. Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. They went to the Valley, and Charlton have been on good form.
But that is like I've just said there. All that is down to is attitude and application. That's the only reason they've not won that game. That is the only reason, because they're player for player better than them by a million miles. It's the only reason they've not won that game is attitude and application. So, I mean, Swindon the other day, absolute, do you know what I mean? So that, like, any team from a higher level that is a professional team against a part-time outfit, that is the only reason you lose that game, is attitude and application. That's what they failed in there, Charlton. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like I said, 6 different goal scorers. Obviously, there was an own goal as well. Collins getting a goal. He hasn't been getting many goals recently, but he's been getting a lot of assists and creating chances. But it was good to see him get a goal off the bench. If I would have done my lineup on FanHub, which I forgot to do, then I probably would have put a similar team. I wouldn't have played Taylor. But yeah, luckily, like you said, no injuries, got the job done. Some good performances, good getting confidence up. 2 wins out of 2 for Mangan. And yeah, into the next round, like we said, against Crewe or Derby. But keep hitting the like button as well. We're going to get into the manager talk very, very soon. And we've got some already people have put in questions for that. So yeah, keep hitting the like button, subscribe. And also, like I did just mention, FanHub, if you haven't already, do join FanHub. There is a code right now going on the bottom of the screen, ONER79. So do hit the code on that if you want to join. Get involved, get merch, checking it grounds, get free points, stuff like that. If you're into that, do make sure you go in and use the code. But yeah, getting into obviously the manager situation. What have you made of it? Like I said, there's been loads of names. There's been even a German manager people have been talking of, even though it's coming from like no reliable source. There's obviously, like I mentioned, the Holden thing. You got Robinson, Neil Harris, loads of names out there. Obviously, Mangan. What do you make of it? I know we talked about it last week, and obviously your thoughts were getting someone experienced into the end of the season. Have you changed your mind since last week and seeing some of the rumours? What do you make of the whole situation now?
Not particularly, to be honest. Like I said, there's nobody on the shortlist of anyone that I've seen that has been had initial talks or a form of interview or anything that jumps out at me is shouting that is definitely the right guy. Definitely. No one jumps out at me and saying that is definitely the right guy to take that job. I don't know who's favourite, why they'd be made favourite, or any of the rest of it with the bookies. It's going to go down to whoever sold themselves the best speaking to the board, isn't it? But for me, as far as an initial thought process of who's right for the job, I've got no idea. Like I said, there's no one that stands out to me as saying, hand on heart, definitely want that guy. I mean, like I said the other day, the Warnock one makes sense to me because I just think he could get hold of that squad and do exactly what he's done for years on end and take that somewhere. But that's a short-term fix because you'll probably be looking for another manager in the summer. So as far as a long-term solution, I don't know. Like, I don't mind the Monk one. I don't mind the Gary Monk one. From what I've seen myself and people I've spoken to who've managed sort of their clubs, the punt on John Terry, if that was an option, it intrigues me. It could go completely belly up, but it intrigues me. I mean, the Carl Robinson one, you talk about Barton, and trust me, Carl Robinson don't come without baggage. If you look into why that bloke left Oxford, so there's that to consider. I think Holloway's been ruled out. That would have been a non-start for me anyway, but it's still up in the air for me. I've got no idea. Like, whoever gets a job, I fully hope they do the best job that they physically can and they're really successful for us. But as far as my gut feeling of who I want, I don't really have one. Like, so there's no outstanding candidate for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Obviously, thanks for another super chat from John saying, "Would you take Sean North?" Heard he's been linked. No, him and Buckle. Hope never to see them again. Personally, but yeah, thanks for another super chat. Really appreciate it. Second one from you as well. So, thanks for that. Dan saying 7-2 can only breed confidence. Just need to sort out consistency. Let Mangan have a good run without any expectations. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people have been saying that. Even me, I wouldn't really mind Mangan. And obviously, yeah, I've seen Dan Hargreaves. Shout out to Dan, who obviously does all the Rovers stuff for Bristol Live. He done a poll earlier on. I think there was 67% of people said yes, they would like to see Mangan. I done 2 the other day as well. One on Twitter, one on YouTube. Both got the same amount of percentages. I done Cole Robinson, Neil Harris, Gary Monk, or other, and about 60% on both said Gary Monk. So a lot of people have Gary Monk. I've started some comments as well. Thanks to Gas Support for sending in this. Would you take Mangan as the permanent manager? Why or why not? What do you make of Mangan? Would you give him the job? Say give it to him to the end of the season and see what happens, or what do you think on Mangan?
I think the first question is, does he even want it? Does Mangs even want it? You know what I mean? I've not heard him come out and say that he even wants a job, sort of thing. So that's the first question. I don't know. I just think if you're going to get rid of Joey and you want a complete change around, you've not really done that, have you? Because you've got his sidekick in. Granted, they're all sort of his players that have been recruited with Joey, but what's he going to be like when you've got to deliver the bad news? When you've got to start, digging people out? When you've got 2 wins from 2 is great, but eventually, a manager earns his crust when he turns stuff around. When you're on the back of 3 defeats, you've got to give people a hard time. When you've got to start doing disciplinary stuff, when you've got to start leaving people out, telling them they're going to get released, telling them they're going to get sold. 2 wins from 2 is, like I said, is great, but it doesn't make you a fantastic manager. You might go on to be that, but at the minute, I don't know. It's just he's doing great at the minute. Is looking after what he's got, man. But I'd be reluctant to give it him full time, if just personally.
Yeah. Because basing it off the interview with Hassan Al Saeed, it doesn't look like he would be given it, because, like you said, he's sort of looking for something different. And like you said, I know Mangan. For me, I wouldn't mind giving it to Mangan, but like you said, it's sort of it is a little bit weird how sort of the owner wants to go in a completely new direction of manager. Obviously, still with the same sort of experience, and obviously has got teams out of this league or higher. What he said, and like you said, it would be a bit weird if, or a bit different to what he said if he would get Mangan in. But I wouldn't be against it for me personally. But yeah, it's a great question as well. So thanks for that. Simon Brace, even to you, says crew manager. I think it's Bell, Luke Garrard, or Robbie Fowler for me. Definitely not Monk. Yeah, Webby saying Sean North's the Pompey kit man. Rob Savex saying Mangan is close to Joey, so all it depends on whether he stays or whether he goes and joins up with Barton again if he gets a new gig, in my eyes. Ben Darrell saying Joey Barton heavily linked as the favourite to go Bradford. Yeah, I seen that earlier on Twitter. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Barton at Bradford. Wilbur FC Vlogs, Mangan doing well. Would keep it up with him until we get the right guy and someone with promotion experience. And if we can give that to him to the end of the season, then reassess. Another question as well. Obviously, I know you had your thoughts. Charlie Bell Richardson said, if you had your last fiver, who are you punting on to be the next gaffer? What do you reckon, Neil?
Again, it all goes down to how well whoever the candidates are have sold themselves, to the board when they've had their initial conversations. I don't know if I had five. Going on the criteria that he's looking for, managed at an higher level, got a promotion. I don't know. Neil Harris. Neil Harris ever got a promotion with anyone? I know he's managed at a higher level. Has he ever got anyone out of the league?
With MK Dons.
Well, if you're going on criteria.
With Millwall, sorry, yeah.
Well, if you're going on criteria, then that'll be that. That's what I put my fiver on. Then that, whether I think that's the right man for the job or not, is could be one way or the other. But if that was to be my last fiver and I back it on, and what the board have said about the criteria who they're looking for, then probably him.
Yeah, so you would go. For me, if you're saying on about criteria, then Neil Harris or Carl Robinson. But it's interesting because for me, like I said, a lot of people have seen, have said Gary Monk. For me personally, obviously, I haven't done any actual videos since. I've just been, because if I did, there'd be one like every day. Or who's next? So and so, blah blah blah. But Kelly saying Darryl Clark or Ian Holloway. Webby saying Carl Robinson is odds on 1 to 2. Tell Neil Robinson in the last 24 hours has dropped from 16s to 1 to 2. Yeah, I'm not. That's probably. But like you even said earlier about the baggage. Like for me personally, I think Carl Robinson's going to get the job. But I think he he done very well with Oxford, got them to the playoffs. Obviously they lost. I like his football. He got MK to the championship. I do like his football. He seems a very passionate, obviously Scouse as well, like Joey, obviously a Mangans, which is funny enough. But like you said, obviously didn't work with him well at Charlton. Obviously they were going through loads because the board is a shambles, still is. I think it's getting a little bit better, but still, it obviously didn't do very well there. But then Oxford, like you said, he was. I don't even know how long was he at Oxford for? 4 or 5 years, Robinson, maybe even longer ago.
Yeah, even longer.
Probably longer than that. Yeah. So got him finishing high. Great football. Plays mainly a 4-3-3, which for me personally I don't like. But like you said, there was a lot of, especially last season, there was a lot of baggage, wasn't there? Especially with the board with Robinson. What do you make on that? Because for me personally, I think it's going to be Carl Robinson. But like you said about the baggage. What do you make of that? Do you think that would be a good appointment? Like, what's your views on Carl Robinson? If he was named manager tomorrow, what would you think? And what do you make of the whole thing at Oxford?
If he got named tomorrow, I'd back him. Do you know what I mean? I want anyone who gets a job, like regardless of who it is, I want anyone who gets a job to be successful with us. But you're gonna have a fan base that were jumping up and down because they have certain thoughts on Joey as a character and as a man out of football. Stuff might not be as widely documented with Carl Robinson, but like I said, he don't come out without his own baggage. Believe me, like from things you hear around the sort of circuit. If he got the job, he got the job. I wouldn't be dead against it. Like I said, his body work's good at Oxford. His body work is good, but you're gonna go from one character that is frowned upon by some people to another one that will be probably.
Yes, it's definitely an interesting one, isn't it? Because for me personally, I think, he was my second. I liked the Gary Monk idea, but I just got a feeling it won't be Gary Monk anymore. For me personally, I think it's going to be him. Obviously, Tom Butler makes a point saying, yeah, but you were saying like, yeah, why would you get rid of Joey and then get Mangan in? But I wouldn't mind giving it to Mangs. When do you think? Do you think Mangan will be given the next 2 games, or do you think it could be it'll be done sooner than that with a manager? Because I got a feeling they might give Mangan a tiny bit of time and then decide. But if you're going to do that, then why not just give him the job? Why would you wait? And if you've interviewed other stuff, like, what do you make of that? Do you think they'll announce the manager sooner or give Mangan a few more games?
It all depends on how these talks have gone. They might not have had an outstanding candidate that they've spoken to yet. They might go, do you know what? I'm not convinced by any of these yet. It all depends on that first and foremost. But we're on Sunday night now. I don't think it makes sense to appoint anyone before Reading. We're on the back of 2 victories. If the board have got any nous about them, they'll go, do you know what? We'll keep this exactly as it is. Get Reading out of the way. If we can beat Reading on the form we've got, and then if we've got someone in mind that we think that we want the job to go to, give it to them after Reading. Because even if you appoint someone now, they're only going to be sat in the stand. They're not going to go on that training ground sort of Monday. The lads aren't going to be doing anything now until they play Tuesday anyway. So it's not like he can implement anything. Even if he gets announced, he's only going to be sat in the stands, and Mangan's going to take it anyway. And that's just going to put, an unnecessary feeling on Manning. You might as well just let Mangs do the job and announce whatever you've got to announce, if you have got anything to announce, after Reading, be it the Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I sort of agree with you. Really, they wouldn't, like you said, they wouldn't be able to put anything on it. So, yeah. For me personally, I think they might leave it until after Carlisle, but who knows? I don't have a clue really. But that's what I'm just thinking. I think give him another 2 games, give him a full week to go to Carlisle, because that'll be, even though Carlisle are on the greatest form, it's always a tough place to go, Carlisle, because it's just so far. We've lost there the last 2 times, even maybe before that. But obviously, like you said, we'll just get Reading out of the way and see what happened. But yeah, if anyone's got any more questions, leave them below. And yeah, Ben saying we definitely do have. I agree with you. We do have the players for 4-3-3, but I sort of like what we were doing in pre-season in that formation, because obviously Mangan's now changed it since Barton's gone. Barton was doing it as well. Obviously he was with him, but that's what they were doing in pre-season, and we were playing well. We liked it. Obviously, some players like Finley have come out and said, I really liked the 4-2-4. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We just have to wait. Once there is news, there will be a video. We'll do another live stream to get everyone's reaction, and we'll give you, the fans, obviously supporters of the channel, and obviously Rovers in general, when a manager does get announced, we'll do a live stream and get people on to let us know their thoughts as well. And but yeah, that's pretty much everything about the manager situation. Obviously we talked about Whitby, talked about Northampton. Obviously getting into Reading now, like we all know, off the pitch, and on the pitch, they're really struggling. Reading, I didn't even know this, nor did Neil, but they're 24th, rock bottom, played 14, the same amount of games as us, won 3, drew 1, lost 10. Currently got, they're on 6 points, but obviously if you look at that, they've been deducted 4 points, so they would be on 10 points right now. There'd be 9 points behind us if they didn't have the deducted 4 points. It's awful for the fans, isn't it? That's all you can say really, because they've obviously been getting annoyed with performances on the pitch, but they've been doing the last few games. The fans have been going on protests, obviously marches. I'm pretty sure I heard yesterday that, remember Dave Kitson, the ex-Reading player, Pompey striker, and Stoke. He was doing the protests and the marches with them apparently the last few games. So they're getting players involved as well. Obviously, it's absolutely awful for the fans. What do you make of the whole situation? It's bad, isn't it? Because it just keeps keeps on happening with these clubs, whether it's Bury, whether it's anyone. There's loads. Like, what do you make of the whole situation with Reading?
It's not uncommon though with Reading. Like they haven't been stable. You know, they haven't had a long period of stability for a long time. Like it.
Yeah.
They have things like this, and they get stable for about 18 months, and they get a new owner. They've had, you know, people from the Middle East. They've had not Middle East, sorry. They've had I don't know, they might have been Chinese owners, and then they've had Russians. It's not uncommon for Reading. They just seem to go through it like every couple of years. They have this.
Yeah.
I don't know who's to blame, to be honest, because you've got to do your due diligence on who's taking this club over, and someone's not doing their own work on these people that are taking over Reading. But it's not uncommon. It seems to happen to Reading a lot. But yeah, they're rock bottom. They've got issues on and off the pitch. They score a hell of a lot of goals for a side at the bottom, though. They seem to score like a lot of goals for that. That's uncommon. You normally get sides that just get pumped 2, 3, 4 with the odd consolation, but they score plenty of goals for a side at the bottom, which means it shows you how leaky they are at the other end. I think that Sellers, he likes to make games as wide open as he can. By the look of it, he'll go toe to toe with whoever he's playing against, and it seems like they're coming unstuck really. It'll be a weird one Tuesday because it'll probably be like half empty. There'll be like probably little sections, protests. There might be tennis balls getting chucked on or whatever, but Reading's not an intimidating place to go, full stop, mate. It's just not. It's just, I don't know. It's just not an intimidating for how big the place is.
Yeah,
it's just not a scary place to go, to be honest. Their fan base isn't anything like to make a raucous sort of atmosphere, and it won't be anything like that because of what's going on Tuesday anyway. They got a couple of good players, they got, I know Smith's out injured for a long period anyway, so he won't be playing, but Wing's probably the standout as far as a creative source of what they can do. Defensively, they're all over the place. They're conceding 2s and 3s every week. And it don't look like it's going to get any better. It's going to get worse before it gets better for them, to be honest. So that's Reading in a nutshell for you, for me.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's been interesting. Obviously, this comment here from Will as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel, like young and upcoming Rovers fan that does a lot of content. So go and give him some support and subscribe. But yeah, last 2 games, basically saying accommodates players, or attacking players, which is very good, especially Thomas coming back now. And like you said, Vel, is got a goal yesterday and looking, and needs to play and be playing like Mangan has done in the last few games. So it all works well, really. Ben saying no doubt it'll be stopped for a little bit, but I hope we can back up another league win. Very, very do hope so. Hopefully, I can't remember the last time. I don't think we've done it so far this season, have we? We haven't. We might have had a win in like one of the EFL Cups and then one in the league, but we haven't got back-to-back wins, have we, this season in the league? I don't believe.
I can remember.
It's been God knows how long it's been. Probably last season when we went on that run where we had Forest Green and then Oxford, maybe. But I can't remember. It's been a very long time, so hopefully we can. But like you said, they've got, obviously in the summer, that there was a lot of talk. Obviously, they didn't have a manager. A lot of players let go, a mix and match of youth players, because we talked previously in the, obviously you don't know how the other teams have taken it, obviously not that seriously, but I watched the full 20-minute highlights of the Reading against Exeter in the EFL Cup. Probably in the EFL Trophy, sorry. A lot of people probably seen that result when they won 9-0, and they played some brilliant stuff. Exeter played their youth team as well with a few first teamers, and then they beat Swindon 5-0 in the cup as well. But obviously, Aldershot we've seen stuck 7, and Rovers legend Kian Harries also get on the score sheet. But it's interesting because, like you said, they're scoring a lot of goals, but they're also conceding a lot. We'll quickly look at some of their losses. They did actually win though. They did win yesterday. They did beat MK Dons, who I think MK have scored 7 or 8 in the past 2 and won the last 2. But they beat MK in the cup. But in the league, they were 2-0 up against Pompey at home on the last visit. But Pompey turned it around. They lost 3-2, lost 2-1 home to Fleetwood, lost. I don't know why I've accidentally lost 4-0 to Reading, lost 4-0 away to Charlton at the Valley, lost 2-1 away to Orient, and then lost 2-1 away to Northampton. So they're scoring quite a few, but they're also obviously, like you can see there, what they've conceded 5, 9, 11, 14 goals in the last 5 games they've conceded. And obviously, they've lost every single game. But like before we went live, we talked about Rovers in the past. This is a different time, but in the past we've seen. I mentioned the Oldham game, sort of similar. We're on that amazing run. Oldham was one of the only few blips we had in that amazing second half of the season in League Two. But sometimes we go to these clubs or we take. I remember Coventry away like 4 or 5 years ago. A lot of the problems that Reading were having, Coventry were having at the time, and that was the season Reading got relegated. We took 4,500 or whatever it was to Coventry. Played awful and lost, but I'm confident. I'm confident in the side we got. Like you talked about, Ruben Sayers, he was at Southampton as a manager. There was talk of Chris Wilder, I believe, going to Reading, but obviously Sellers is there. And some of their players, are good. They signed that Harley Dean on a free, very experienced centre half. They got David Button in goal. They've got Andy Yeardom, a quality right back, Ghanaian international. I think that Smith, who a lot of Rovers fans, including me, wanted to sign, Sam Smith, the striker from Cambridge. I think he's back. He was out injured for a while, but I think he's back, I believe. And you got Harvey Nibbs, Lewis Wing, another player who I wanted to sign, is there. And also Charlie Savage, they signed, scored against us Forest Green away last season. So they have got some good players, but like you said, they haven't managed to, find that team to go on and get wins. Obviously, a lot of the stuff off the pitch is affecting it, but I still think it will be. I don't think it will be as easy as it looks looking at it, everything. But yeah, hopefully, we can have a look. So we did, yeah. So Yambi Sims saying we beat Shrewsbury and Wigan back to back. So there we go. We have got back to back wins in the league this season. So hopefully we can do it again. Hopefully we can, especially getting that away form back on track. I think we've struggled, haven't we, so far, really, this season away from home, winning only the one game. So, yeah, with obviously Reading, Carlisle coming up. I'll be at both. Neil will be going to Reading as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can make it, 3 or 4 wins in a row in all comps and 3 wins in a row. Hopefully getting Reading and Carlisle. But going into looking at the game, how confident and how are you feeling you going into the game? Obviously forgetting all their problems. What do you make of it? Are you confident that Rovers can make it another win going into it?
Yeah, I'll go to Reading Tuesday night, fully expecting us to win against Reading. They're rock bottom of the league. They're all over the place, on and off the pitch. And what are we? 3 on the spin. We look like we are, we're carving sides open a lot more than we have done with Collins playing that little bit more narrow. We've got that little box midfield going. When we are susceptible at the back. There's no getting away from that. We are, but we look a lot more fluid going forward than we have done. The back end of last couple of games of Barton being in charge. I think Mang shifted a few things about. They look like they're playing with a little bit more freedom, and we look good going forward. I fully expect us to go to Reading and get all 3 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you said, I've liked the formation change, and especially against Northampton. Northampton, obviously, we made it tough in the end. Second half, we didn't really go for it as much, or we're a bit nervy on so and so. But like you said, first half, every time we went forward, we looked like we was going to score. And hopefully, like Ben says, hopefully we can go into win the game and go into the top 10 with another game in hand. Yeah, obviously the Exeter game in hand. We're probably going to have Fleetwood off as well in the next few weeks because of international call-ups. I think Fleetwood have got a few players playing for Ireland under 21s, and obviously Rovers have got players getting called up. So that game will be off. So there'll be another game in hand that we've got. But yeah, we're pretty much going to get into our lineup predictions and score predictions. Keep hitting the like button if you haven't already. We've got 38 currently in. Can we get 38 likes or more? That would be quality. So do hit the like button. Always helps the channel get more recognized. And yeah, do subscribe if you are new to the channel. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. And like I said before, join Fan Hub, use the code, which is down below right there. And also follow the socials, the Talking Gas podcast socials as well. But yeah, leave your starting 11s in the comments. It'd be interesting to see what everyone thinks. Obviously, a few changes yesterday with some players rested. And also, we'll get on to score predictions very soon as well. But yeah, Neil, what do you reckon for starting 11? What would you go for come Saturday? No, come Tuesday night. Sorry.
Is Woodsy back from suspension now or not? She's got another game left.
I think so. But I'm
three
not.
games?
I'm not
Is he served 3 now or not?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Stevenage, Northampton, and today. But does it count in the cup?
I don't know. I assume it's just 3 games. I don't think it matters, to be honest. I think
So if it is only the 3 games and not counting all 3 league games, so yeah, Woods should be back come Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. Going on what was played Saturday, going into a quick turnaround of Tuesday, and the subs that were made. I don't think you want to be playing anyone that got 90 minutes that game, to be honest, personally. Unless goalkeeper, obviously. So I would play Cox in goal. I'll play George Friend at left back, Josh Grant at right back, Connor Taylor and James Wilson at centre half. I play Finley and Woods in the screen. Giovanni Brown and Harvey Vale for width, with Aaron Collins alongside Chris Martin.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
If Woods is out, then Bogard goes in.
Woods should be back though, because it's like you said, it's 3 games, but I'm not sure if it counts.
No, I don't know the criteria of the competitions though. If it is due to the fact that it's the FA Cup and he's still got to serve another game in the league, then I'd put Bogard in there with Finley.
You put Bogard. So you wouldn't play Evans then?
No, I mean, no. I just think it's too quick a turnaround. What's the point of, like, he's done loads of minutes recently. You're gonna throw him in off a Saturday into Tuesday, and then what? Potentially lose him for 4 to 6 weeks with a muscle strain. Doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ben saying 3 league games. I didn't realize it was 3 league games. So yeah, if it is, then yeah, Woods has got 1 game and then he's back. Yeah, Yusuf is gone. Cox, Gibbons, Taylor, Cramer, Friend, Woods, Evans, Thomas, Collins, Marquis, Vale. Yeah, for me it's interesting. For me, obviously Cox in goal. That's interesting. Do I go Grant or do I go Luca? Hunt, I don't think will be back. Yeah, who did you go right back?
Josh Grant.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll go. Luca hasn't played a lot, and the last game he played, he wasn't very good. So I'd probably agree with you. I agree that I would play Wilson as well. Play Wilson and Taylor. Friend left back. Obviously, he had rest completely. He wasn't even in the squad, I don't think. So hopefully he's not injured. Hopefully he's just rested. Then midfield, I would go with. I'd go with Finley and Evans, for me personally. On the right, I would go with Thomas. On the left, I would go with Vale. And then up front, I would go with Collins and Chris Martin. That would be my starting 11 for me personally. Marquis did well, but again, he's only just come back. I know he's only done his hand. But yeah, Chris Martin's been very good in the league, and I think he deserves another game for me personally. Simon Bracey says Evans and LT have got to be first 2 names on the team sheet, both class. I sort of agree. Obviously, I know Neil said about Evans playing a lot, and yeah, he could do, but that could happen to anyone. So I'll just go play the strongest team, and yeah, hopefully get the win. Ben saying Cox, Grant right back, Cramer, Taylor, Friend, Bogard, Evans. Collins, Thomas, Giovanni, and Martin. So that would be proper attacking. Interesting. You wouldn't play Vel, but I mean, that's ours. Obviously, people have said Hall is injured. I'm pretty sure Mangan said Ben Dowell. But getting on to predictions. Get all your score predictions in the comments below. Let us know goal scores as well. As you know, we always do that. Neil, I'll go with you first and then get to some in the comments. So let us know in the comments below. What are you going for on Tuesday night?
I think, like I said, Reading, they're not shy of scoring goals themselves, but they're rock bottom for a reason. I know they've had the deduction, but they haven't been great regardless. I think it'll be wide open. I think it'll be loads. I think we'll win something like 4-2.
4-2. What goal scores are you going with for both Rovers and Reading? Even though there's 6 scores, what do you think?
Don't know. I say Azza to get a couple, Thomas and Marquis to get one each off the bench. I don't know, maybe like Lewis Wing and probably like Holmes from a corner, something like that. He'll probably knock one in.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So 4-2. It's actually been a while since you said a win as well. To be honest, I think it's been a while.
I predict us to beat Northampton.
Oh yeah, you did. To be fair, you actually got it spot on as well. To be fair, so I completely forgot that because a lot of the time you're more measured. Is the word I'd think more measured than me.
I'm still measured now because that's how bad Reading are.
Yeah. That's true,
and we've been scoring outfuls of goals now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have got a few in the last couple. Ben Darrell saying 2-1, Martin and Thomas. That's true. To be fair, I'll leave it as it is for now. But probably in my fan hub lineup, I will put Giovanni to start because come off after 60 minutes and Luke Thomas made the full 90. So that's a good shout actually. Yusuf also saying Gibbons was good. He was good, but again, you've seen him in the league. For me, he hasn't done well, but he did do well yesterday. He got 2 assists, but it is against a semi-pro team at the end of the day. Fair play to him. You got to give him his credit. Put some good balls in the box, but it is Whitby Town. But Kieran West saying 4-0. Thinks we'll keep a clean sheet. For me, I'm gonna say 3-1. I'll go with the same prediction as last week. Actually, that's what I predicted us to do against Northampton. Just like you said, Neil, alluded to, we haven't looked amazingly defensively, still giving chances away. So I'll say 3-1. Ben's saying Gibbons was good, but it was against a load of scaffolders. I'll say 3-1 for them. I'll say I don't know who he is, but there's I can't remember how you say his name, but there's an academy graduate for Reading up front. He's a tank. Looks a bit like the Simpson that played for Northampton, but he's got 6 goals. I'm going to say him. I don't know his name, so feel free to put it in the comments, but I can't remember his name, but I think he'll score. And I'll go Collins to get 1. I'll go with Harvey Vell to get 1. And I'll go Chris Martin with another goal as well. So I'll say 3-1. Kelly also saying 3-1 Rovers. Kevin, Gas 83 saying Kevin something. He's got some mad, I don't want to say it and butcher it, but Gas 1883 also agreeing with you, Neil. He's going 4-2 Rovers. Yusuf going only the 1-0. I'll take the 1-0. I don't care. Pretty much, a lot of people very confident as we should be. But we're pretty much gonna end it here. If there's any last minute questions, then do get them in. And if you haven't already, there's 41 of you. Can we see 41 score predictions in the comments? Let us know your thoughts. But now we're pretty much going to end it here. Obviously, I know there was no Reading fan on. He was actually working on one of their podcasts, so he couldn't come on. But we'll be back on Thursday night. Obviously, talking about hopefully a well-earned 3 points at Reading, and obviously doing the preview for the Carlisle game on Saturday, and maybe, just maybe, we could have a manager announced. We'll have to see. But that's the one. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, he's got some mad name. I don't know if you can pronounce that, Neil. You any good at pronouncing names like that?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got 6 goals so this season. That he looks a good player. And Webby saying 4-0 and Yambi Sims saying 4-1. So yeah, a lot of fours predictions. Tom Butler 2-1. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have a clue, but yeah, thanks to everyone watching. Like I said, do subscribe if you are watching on the replay. Do leave your predictions in the comments, or if you haven't left your prediction in the live, then do leave it in the comments. Smash a like if you haven't, really does help. Subscribe, follow the socials. Feel free to give me and Neil a follow on the socials if you want. And yeah, hopefully 3 points. And yeah, we'll see everyone at Reading. Up the gas.